When we hurry to do things, to make things happen, to get from point A to point B, we can easily choke on information, on thoughts, on our actions, on the reactions of our body and mind. And as years go by, we begin to notice how time is slipping away through our fingers like sand, and we begin to hurry even more. We turn into human autopilots and we think that this is how things should be. But it's not true. Instead of increasing the speed of life, we can slow down to get our own time back. And this is what I invite you to explore with me together. It will be a slow chat without any rapid and often unnecessary footage, so that you can watch it in a relaxing way over a cup of your favorite drink, or maybe doing something else that feels good for you at the moment. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Anna, and this is the place to think, to feel, and to get inspired to live your own unique life. But before we get to 5 easy things that you can begin to do slower right away to reconnect with yourself, let's see whether you really need it. Let's do a test if it's time for you to slow down. And if you want to go straight to those 5 tips, just use the timestamps down below. Okay, now count to how many points you can strongly relate. Your energy drops all the time, and sometimes it feels like you're cutting through daily life as if you were a blunt knife cutting through a tomato. You constantly forget things and often find your personal belongings or food in weird places because you put them there mindlessly. You keep losing stuff, your glasses, keys, ID cards, you name it. You're too clumsy without any obvious physical reason. Dropping, spilling, breaking things. It's hard for you to see any perspective in the near term. Yes, you can have dreams, but the immediate life looks the same every day, with no depth, with no horizon. You feel irritation and apathy very often. You snap at people for no serious reason. You don't remember the last time you've listened to your intuition. Your inner voice is barely or not heard at all. You feel like you have lost your grip on life and you have no idea how to get it back. So, how many ticks do you have on your list? If 3 or more, you might consider taking it slower. Of course, for many of us, a completely slowed down life is not affordable or accessible at the moment. We can have our day jobs, we can have children, families to take care of, or any other valid reasons to keep up a brisk pace every day. But there are some areas where slowing down is simple, easy, and extremely beneficial. You can begin to do that right away, today, and you will see drastic quality changes in your mood and mental well-being very, very soon. Slow waking up. As long as I remember myself, I always set 2 alarms with 30 minutes difference, and the first one usually goes off earlier my usual time. This trick gives me time to wake up more slowly, just to remember my dreams, to feel the day actually without diving into it like diving into a pool of cold water. It's also essential not only for your mental well-being, but for your physical as well. Blood pressure, breathing rate need adjustment, and if you're too quick, your body can get hurt. Slow movement practices. Sports and physical activity are always a very important component of a healthy lifestyle. But slow movement practices, be it yoga, tai chi, qigong, pilates, Feldenkrais method, or else, or even simple stretches, can be extremely beneficial and can add even more value to your mental well-being. This is a wonderful way to restore the connection between the body and the mind that can be easily destroyed in the result of living too fast for too long. For me personally, at the moment, yoga is the best choice, and I usually practice a slower type of yoga, not just those brisk and very challenging flows, because this is what works for me. By the way, recently in my Patreon community, I've released a new video chat talking about my personal experience with sports and all kinds of physical practices. There's a new video there every week where I share more personal stories, updates, and thoughts. There will be a link in the description if you're interested and want to support the channel. Slow reading. If I was asked what heavily promoted skill annoys me the most, it would be speed reading. Because humans are not scanners, and yes, speed reading can be beneficial sometimes for your work or for your study, but we all know how steadily and inevitably work routines penetrate in our everyday life. I used to be proud of my fast reading skills. When I did my university degree in English and literature, I was known for my ability to read an 800 pages book in just one night before the test. Back then, there were no audiobooks and no book summary apps that, by the way, annoy me as well. But the thing is that within just a couple of weeks, I couldn't remember any essential details from a book that I read within those 8 hours. Speed reading ruined my reading experience for years, and I had to relearn reading again. Yes, I still read pretty fast, and I often have to slow myself down. And I try to treat every word as if it was a flower in a beautiful bouquet, deserving special care. Slow reading helps increase the attention span. It improves analytical thinking and long-term memory. And it also helps actually enjoy the process. And I encourage you to kickstart slow reading right away today, and I bet you already have a good book for that. Slow eating. It's not a revelation, not a rocket science, but regardless of the fact that we all know it, we still eat too fast, too often. On the go, rushing our breakfast in, barely chewing, barely tasting, barely feeling any satisfaction. Is it healthy? Hell no. Neither physically nor mentally. By eating slowly, you give your body time to recognize that you are full, and so you don't overeat. You have an opportunity to savor the meal, to feel the tastes and all the flavors, and you also chew more thoroughly, and thus your digestion improves. Being a slow and mindful eater is not an easy thing, and I'm telling this from my own experience, but it's really worth it. Slow evening routine. Give yourself this time, without your phones, without any harsh light or intense stimuli. It can be just 40 minutes before bed, or 30, or even 20. It's just we have different life situations and circumstances. You can stretch this time, slow down, and indulge into something that calms your mind. I usually have my skincare ritual, reading, and journaling as very important elements of my evening routine. You can include anything that you like and enjoy. It can be a shower, a bath, listening to the music, drinking a cup of herbal tea, or anything else that you like. It's just important to do it slowly and mindfully and not automatically. By introducing more slowness into our life, we reconnect with our body and our mind, and we begin to notice that time is not our enemy, but it's actually our friend that gives us energy, depth, and meaningfulness. And we begin to see our life as a continuously woven canvas instead of torn and chaotic pieces. The gentle overcomes the rigid, the slow overcomes the fast, the weak overcomes the strong. Everyone knows that yielding overcomes the stiff, and the soft overcomes the hard, yet no one applies this knowledge. Feel free to share in the comments whether you practice slow living, why and how. And thank you so much for being here and watching, dear friends. And many thanks to everyone who supports me on Patreon and other tipping platforms, because you help keep this channel going. And for now, be safe and keep your heart open, and I will see you soon. Пока-пока.